We thank you, sir, for your guidance. You have always guided us. And it was from your concept that the units or the end users directly get involved in the way we try to develop our infrastructure. And this has helped. That's why, sir, you have just seen the quality of works. And this is going to improve on the training, but also on the infrastructure that you have just commissioned, sir. The structures you commissioned, it included the commander's residence, CI, though the works are still ongoing, admin and the officers' blocks, which have been completed, and is ready to be occupied. Today, officers are going to enter there. So we thank you so much, and MOD for the support towards this development. And as we are aware that a good infrastructure creates form of a city and enables life to go on, and life goes on well. It's also believed that investment in infrastructure is a long-term requirement for the growth and long-term factor that will make growth sustainable. Therefore, these structures that you commissioned today will add great value to improve training and conduct, and also improve on the welfare of the staffs and the trainees at large. As one general from Japan mentioned, I quote, "If you want to know the quality of any army, look at its infrastructure, training schools, and the medical facilities." So this one we have no doubt. We can say we are improving, and in the future we shall have no question when we produce products. And our medical facilities, they are also improving. And these modern structures now means no more environmental degradation to cut grass, as you have been seeing all over Mama Ingia Pole. But now this one, it has stopped, so meaning no environmental degradation. To build 1,000 manyatas, it means weather cannot now affect us or affect our training. Because if we moved around, there are other infrastructures for classrooms, dormitories, for trainees, NCO's quarters, it was completed, so senior NCOs, they are well, and plans are on for junior NCOs and for trainees. So it's also will work as a force multiplier, given the fact that now we have electricity, we have computers around, so we shall be able to harness the advantage of IET in training and research. So on that note, sir, I just want to pledge my full commitment to preserve and maintain this magnificent infrastructure so that our future generations may also reap from the same results.
On 20th May 2015, you laid the foundation stone on the infrastructure development for Peace Support Training School, Singo. The main objective of this project was to provide accommodation for the troops, staff, stores, and workspaces. These works were phased because of budget constraints and to allow sectional completion and occupation of the infrastructures that would be completed. Under phase one, 54 houses for non-commissioned officers were completed. 8 dormitories which can accommodate a battalion, including the sanitation facilities, were also completed. We constructed an armory, a logistics store, a signal center, a fuel pump, and a VIP mess where you were this morning. So those were under phase 1. Those were completed and now are in use. So these works are being undertaken by direct labor using the engineers brigade personnel together with the leadership of the commandant, the leadership of Peace Support Training School Singo. So today, we are privileged to host you, sir, on commissioning of phase 2. The phase 2 is composed of 33 houses, 3 houses for 3-bedroom houses, and then 30 houses of 2-bedroom for the junior officers, which are at different levels of completion. It is important to note, sir, that the 2-bedroom house you have seen, sir, cost 48 million shillings, and the 3-bedroom was 165 million. That's around 800,000 per square meter. It would have cost the contractor 1.5 million per square meter. That is almost twice as much for the quality of the works you have seen, sir. The 13 houses which you have seen are going to be occupied today, and the rest are going to be completed within a month when they will get the funds for this quarter. For this financial year, 21-22, we are going to construct, that will be categorized under phase 3. We are going to construct 14 dormitories and completing these houses which have not been finished. So we shall concentrate on adding more accommodation for the troops. I would like to thank you, sir, for spearheading the decentralization approach of engineer works. This is whereby the resources are directly credited to the end user units. The engineers brigade provides the personnel, but the end user, the commandant and his staff, are the ones who do the supervision, purchase of materials, and the rest of the works. This approach is cost-effective because it removes the middlemen who are supposed to supply materials. It removes the middlemen of contractors, and as you can see, involving the end users, the beneficiary, with the committees which have been set up,